Tom wrote a book, and he wants you all to buy it.
Don't forget to subscribe for more reviews. Please also like. Thank you.
Hello there everyone, Tom here again, and today we have the final component of Magic Square's Menasor. We're dealing with Pillage and Contain. This is Dead End and Drag Strip, if I remember correctly. Here's the front of the box, side of the box, back, top, bottom, side. Why don't we go ahead and open our box here, so we can take a look at the figures. Trying to escape on me, eh? I see how they are. Alright. Empty box. Setting the box aside, we get directions and red panels. We get these things right here, which, what in the world are these things? I don't know for sure. If I had to guess, I bet they're elbow joints. Alright. Then we get the figures with the guns just kind of floating around in here. Remember how I feel about presentation. I know I'm not the only one. Alright, so zooming in on this gun here, we can see it is flat black plastic with a little bit of molded detail. Yeah. Legend scale here, folks. We're coming in, whoops, pardon me, as I attempt to hold it. Right about 1.25 inches approximately. The other gun measures in at closer to 1 inch. And as we can see with it, it is just a much smaller weapon, but still with some nice details, and I do like the scope. Alright, let's zoom back out. Now, this one went here, and this one went here, which would suggest Dead End's weapon will be this one, which 3mm port, he should be able to hold it without any problem. And he can. Alright, let's go over our Dead End figure in a prompt and efficient manner. First thing I notice is, much like the others, his arms are attached in transformation mode, so you have to move them to get them into adjustable elbows. Oh, focus, focus, right there maybe? Okay. So looking at her figure, we have nice red eyes, that visor of his. His orange mouth is far more colorful on camera than it looks, which is weird. In person, we have gunmetal gray, a lighter shade of gray, some silver on the wheels here that you all should be able to see, some headlights, some silver. Coming down the figure, there's not a whole lot more. His legs have some tail lights and some black windows. That represents his front. Here's his rear, just begging for a Decepticon symbol on it. He's measuring in at approximately 3 3/4, shoulder to shoulder, about 1 3/4 inches. Depth-wise, just eyeballing it here, we're going to call it about 1 1/4 inches, maybe 1 inch. Articulation, the head goes around, it looks like it's on a, yep, you can see that ball joint right there. So you get a good range out of it. You really don't get much confused dog look. The shoulders go up to there, so that is a nice range. Very stiff joint all the way around. It's on a hinge. You can see the hinge right there. no bicep rotation that I can tell. Elbow single hinge 90 degrees, and the wrist is on a ball peg. You can see it right there, but it does not want to move on either side. Waist can go all the way around. He does not really have an ab crunch. He crunches at his hips. T-jointed ball joints for legs. Get you the full Chinese splits, no problem. Forward and back. No problem on the American splits. Let's see, did he? Yeah, so you can break him if you want, I guess. Thigh rotation is built around this mushroom peg right here. No problem. Knees, 90 degrees. Just a tinch shy of 90. The feet can go that much with the rocker. Up that far. Down that far. Alright, and that's dead end. So we're going to set him aside. And we're going to look at... crap, can't remember his name. Whoa, it looks like he's got a G2 head on him. Or am I just wrong? I could be wrong. I was wrong once in the summer of '78. Oh, focus. Focus. Sorry about the cut there, folks. My camera was acting persnickety. But you can see, I think it's the color. It was really messing with my focus. You can see he's got a red visor with a kind of orange head and a blue face and a red top. Brownish red top. Weird. He's got brown right through here, silver, the wheels look like that. Coming down the figure, we get a little bit more color, break up some red and some browns. The side, he's got a little bit of brown there. You get most of your color on the back where his engine is and the spoiler. Yeah, he's going to be the same size, everything. Yeah, about three and a quarter to the head, and then 3.5 with that. Shoulder to shoulder, about 1.25 inches. Depth-wise, maybe 1.5 inches because this thing sticks out. Alright, articulation. These move. The head should be on the same ball joint, and it is. So you'll get the same articulation. The arms, these things are going to get in the way, so that's probably the best you're going to get out of it. They should go all the way around, and they do. That ain't trouble. Bicep rotation is right here. Again, you gotta pull it out to get the elbow bend at 90 degrees. And the wrists do rotate much, much freer. Nope. Waist rotation, no ab crunch again, but you do get that at the hips. Let's see, so he's going to have the, yeah, he's got the reverse teapot thing going too. T-jointed ball joints, Chinese splits, no problem. Forward and back. American splits, no problem. Thigh rotation, boy's fiddly. Thigh rotation built around this mushroom peg here, so you get good thigh rotation. 90 degree elbow bend, knee bend, and the feet are the spoiler, so it comes down, you can do that, and he's got a good rocker on it. Alright, now, can he hold his weapon? And the answer is, should be able to. Not happily. Oh. Not happily at all, at least not in his left hand. Ooh, wow. He can hold it, but it is a bear to get it in there. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do scale comparison, then we will transform one of them into the car mode, and then we'll transform the other one from car mode back into bot mode, so we'll do both. Then we'll combine them, I guess, and do final thoughts. Alright, so we're going to transform old Pillage here. And the first thing we do is lift up the wheels like this, push the arms in like this, then rotate them around. Take the opportunity to take your hand and rotate it around so that you have a solid piece that looks like this. Do this on both sides. Rotate, rotate, and you get something that looks like this. If you notice, there are pins here. They're going to go into ports right in here. So lift this up. This will connect right here like this. And we'll get to these here in just a minute. Take your waist, rotate it around. Take, split your legs, take this piece, push it up on both sides. Take your wheel here, bring it in, just like this. Take this part, bring it in and up, in and up. These will actually connect together, as will the engine pieces here. You just got to get everything lined up. This will come forward, and these sort of lock together. They're just kind of suggestion tabs. They're not really good. There's a port and a pin system right here. This is going to come up and in to place like this, at which point you bring it over and you just kind of slide these wheels into place. Give everything a little squeeze. Last thing we do here is holding it firmly. We bring it forward like that, and then just give it a good once over. Make sure everything's kind of in place where it should be. And here is Pillage in his vehicle mode. Measuring in at approximately 4 inches, give or take. Wheel width is about 1 3/4 inches. Height wise is really going to depend on how you have the spoiler here. Me, right now, I've got it at about 3/4 inch. I have no idea what just went by outside my house, but okay. So it does roll. The wheels do roll, so there's no problem here. Here he is next to his buddy, and you can see he is slightly longer than Dead End, or what do they call him? Contain. I had a real hard trouble getting him into car mode, and I'm not able to get it all the way. Additionally, those two little pieces were his spoiler, just in case anybody besides me was curious. Alright, so to transform him into car mode, the back part here is the hardest part. I mean, it is absolutely the hardest part. So you just got to kind of pull it down. This part comes down like this. This part will come out right here like this. Not the most grateful thing to be moving. This part is on a slider, so that will give you room to bring up your feet and around, because all this has got to move around everything else, and it's not the most intuitive. It is doable. Don't misunderstand. It is doable, but I find this part to be the most... Is challenging the right word? Yeah, let's use challenging, and that's a leg. Alright. So we have to separate this, and this foot has to go over this window, which it really doesn't want to do, but it will if you sweet talk it enough and, I don't know, tell it stories or something. it will go over it. And it's just a matter of getting things lined up properly. That comes down, that will squeeze in, this will sit there, and here you have the legs all done. Now, as you can imagine, the upper torso is nowhere near that bad. You just disconnect it here, pull it down, take your arms out, and there's a port right there you all should be able to see. It needs to line up with that pin on both sides, so you bring the shoulders down and in, at which point you can line it up just like that. And here, pull out the arms, is dead end in his vehicle mode, I'm sorry, robot mode. And there we did transform from robot to vehicle, vehicle to robot. Now let's do scale comparisons in vehicle mode, and then we'll combine. So getting these two figures into their arm configuration is really not all that difficult. For this one right here, basically what I have discovered is hold on to the wheels, and right here, extend the legs, rotate, and pull out. There is a slot right here you can see that corresponds with this tab, and then before you put it on the arm, you just put your legs back in. I don't know if it matters or not if you rotate that at all. Doesn't want to really rotate, so maybe you shouldn't. And these two are in pieces. Now this one is a bit more complex. Basically you've got to get the arms out, which is not exactly the easiest thing I have discovered to do, but it does help that this bends right here. So you can do it this way. Rotate it and pull it out as well. Now this is this joint right here is in case you want to leave them connected. I don't really know why you would, but maybe somebody would. So if you do, you do have that option. Just be mindful. You know what's going on here? Why is this thing this way? Oh, there's a port right there to keep it solid. Alright. This one comes in just like usual, and it works quite well in this mode. This one right here comes up and it works quite well in this mode. So now you have 4 pieces. Bear with me just a second and we will put them on Menasor. So I've gone ahead and I've assembled Menasor, and we're going to start here with dead end. And there are pins right here that you can see that are going to correspond with slots in the bottom. And it should just be a matter of lining them up and getting them on. And it snapped right in. Now I need to point out I have added glue here to this, so I got really tired of it falling off, so I've tried to glue it. We'll see what happens. The top part of this, we have a long peg and a vertical and a horizontal, which will go into the horizontal and the vertical right here. So I am going to attempt to get the horizontal one in first. Theoretically, and that just fit right on. Okay, we'll cover the articulation with this here in a minute. Looking at his right arm, we're going to do basically the same thing. Excuse me. We have two slots right here, which are going to correspond to these two tabs. So we just try and line it up here as best we can. On camera or off, doesn't really matter. As long as it gets where it's supposed to go. There's one, there's two. Alright, that one is now in. This one, we have multiple horizontal slots that are going to correspond to multiple holes here. So it's just a matter of finding the correct pairing, because that looks really messy down there. And you just got to find the right ones. Try to line it all up right and put it into place. And you can do it with a little patience and, you know, some gumption. And this is what he looks like all combined up. And we'll go ahead and put a sword in his hand just because we can. And yeah, articulation all the way around, no problem. Now, we do get a limited amount of arm movement here. Excuse me, and that's just because of the joint. See, this one here does fine, it does 90 degrees, but this one only gives us, you know, excuse me, not as much. And the back ones here do just fine. Yeah, we've already covered Menasor in his robot mode, so we're not going to do anything about that. I will point out that these things that came in the pack with these two are intended to go right here for when you're doing that IDW look. So there's always that. So before I go into final thoughts, I wanted to give you all the comparison that I said I was going to give you when I did Motormaster. I'm sorry, I forgot. This is the Magic Square Menasor, and this is the KO version of the Iron Factory Bruticus. Now this is a 1-to-1 scale, so they just copied it, and this is Magic Squares. So as you can see, Menasor in this is a lot bigger than this one. This one has a lot more detail, this one's more toon accurate. So it really depends on what you're looking at. The scale is okay. I mean, if you really wanted to make him the same size as this one, you just set him on something small. I mean, he just needs a little bit to get head height with him. And it should work well enough for what you want to do. Alright, let's go into final thoughts. Final thoughts was, Nemesis, what are you doing in the shot? Get out of there. Wait. Why can't I be a Stunticon? Because you're not a Stunticon and you can't seem to stay in focus. Isn't that your fault, not mine? I mean, come on. I'm the star of the show, remember? Let's talk about our figures, Nemesis. You want to help me talk about the Stunticons? Sure. They're cool. They drive fast. They give Optimus headaches. What's more to say? Damn, I want to be I want to be one of them. I want to be one of them. Why can't I be one of them? I want to be one of them. Ah! Excuse me. See, if you hadn't done me that way, you wouldn't have that problem. Shut up, Nemesis. All right, so let's talk about these figures. The playability on them, it's okay. This one is a pain in the tail end to transform, and I never was able to get it to line up the way that it was supposed to. This one, he's okay. He's pretty simple. Although I have to tell you, I don't know if it's cartoon accurate or not, but that head bothers me. It bothers me because the colors aren't anywhere else on the figure. If It may be completely accurate, it may be screen accurate, it may be IDW accurate, don't know, don't care. It messes with me. The color of the head messes with me, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. The materials, they feel okay. They're not as sturdy as some of the things I've messed with, but they're far from, as bad. The cost, this set, if I remember correctly, was $45. There's a larger discussion about whether or not we should be paying this much for Legends figures. I know everybody loves Magic Square or New Age, and there's the whole argument, this, that, or the other. I'm not in the middle of that. I don't care. I don't care at all. I'm not going to worry about it. But for those of you that do, just be aware of the fact that these are maybe just a tinge overpriced. I could be wrong. That's okay. That's my subjective opinion. If this set was my first Transformer, would I buy any more? If he was by himself, probably yes. But with the 2-pack, I think I would be so annoyed with this one, because it's a 50-50 thing here, folks. Either they work or they don't. And they work, but this one I couldn't get transformed fully to where it looked right. This one was fine. This one, not so much. That's that's a hard thing to call. So what I'm going to say is this. If you have invested in this set at all, you're going to buy them all. That's just kind of the way it is. So, yeah, I guess so. Do I recommend it? If you get a better Menasor, a better trailer than I did, yes, I would recommend the set. If your trailer sucks the way mine did, no, I'm not going to recommend it. This is Tom. Thanks for watching. I'll see you at the next review.
Thank you for watching my Papa's channel. Please subscribe and like. Thank you.
Are you tired all the time? Do you run out of energon for no apparent reason? Do other robots laugh at you and call you weakling? Do you feel like there should be more to life than what you are experiencing? Then you should try Vitamin John. It is the world famous Energon supplement. No steroids whatsoever. We all use all natural products. Vitamin John can turn losers like this one,
Hey.
poof, into magnificent specimens like these.
Hey there, big boy. You want to come over and see me sometime?
So try Vitamin John today. Operators are standing by. So, I'm getting extra money because Tom wrote a book, and he wants you all to buy it. And I get, contract money for this. So, the name of the book is The Jinn Chronicles, Volume 1, Growth. It's part 1 of a trilogy. It's available on Amazon. Go read it. It's only $5. Go read it. Buy it. And junk. I'm out of here.